Hello, Karen.
Hi.
Good to see you. Hi, Donna. Let's see who else is showing up today. Oh my goodness. Let's see here. What is going on? All right. See who else is on the call with us today. And we'll give everybody a few minutes to come on. Um, Hi, Kathy. And let me see where my assistance is as well to make sure everybody's coming on. Okay. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's April. You're there. Can we make sure that the links are correct? I want to make sure that everybody has access again um, to the calls. So, April, will you give me a thumbs up and let me know that you've got my message?
I got mine. Thank you, April.
Okay. Wonderful. And let's see what's going on. And if not, we'll get started in just a minute here. But again, I just want to make sure that everybody is properly updated because it seems really light for today. Um, and so I have a feeling there's a glitch somewhere. Donna, when you got yours, was it in the email or was it in the Facebook group?
I got an email yesterday. I did not get one today.
Okay, great.
Same with
Fantastic.
mine. I got
Sarah.
an email today.
Oh, I
Okay.
didn't get today's.
I got one today.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Then we're fine. Then, it's going to be our call. And some of y'all are jumping in a little bit late, so that's fine. Hi, Tara. It's good to see you. Hi, Kimmy. All right. So let's get started. Um, Anne's on. Hi, Anne. And Karen, where are you calling from?
Colorado.
You're in Colorado. What part?
Yeah, Western. Close to Grand Junction, between Lowen Springs and Grand Junction.
Okay. Ooh, tiny town.
Yes.
Well, welcome to the call. Thanks for being here.
Thanks.
Hmm. Hello, Anne. Good to see you. Looks like it's cold where you are. Freezing, actually. I could not live anywhere that cold. Um, that's a little much. So y'all, we enter February. And what I'm feeling strongly to talk about, it's about what we're choosing to anchor in individually, collectively. Um, and where our mind goes, our attention goes, right? And I've been seeing so many posts, which isn't typical in my feeds. Not that I don't look at posts that much anyway, but so many posts about just what's going on politically in different places and new rules are being put into place and how it's affecting people and the uprising uh, that's occurring. And it's just part of the awareness that's being brought into our lives as to the different experiences that are being had and how things being imposed on us do have a tremendous effect, even though we may not feel them right away. Again, the thread of that consciousness, it lingers, it carries, it seeds into our being. And if it keeps getting fed, that which nurtures it to grow, it can either blossom or fester, depending on how you receive it. And so it's just good to be aware of that. And what you can choose to do, what we can choose to do, is also invite in higher vibrational eminence of our energy so that the output of that can also be what is communicated and the standards that we're wishing to hold for ourselves and our loved ones and really for the community at whole. And so I'm going to start off with a homework assignment from the very beginning on this call for all of us, including me. And that's to really put your attention and focus on beauty. What happens when we're in the presence of beauty? What happens when we're illuminated by the majesty of that light? There's something that awakens in us. It just does. It's natural. It's a natural magnet towards presence that we can't skim over what's there because there is a pause. And seeing beauty in its multiple facets of being. It can be the beauty of your landscapes and your surroundings. It's seeing a beautiful person and just appreciating this radiance that they may be carrying. It's the beauty of sitting and taking a few deep breaths and feeling the beauty of the divine breathing with you. Right? And the more that we can concentrate on focusing on beauty, the more that we become aware of it, the more it actually feeds you, the more that you're going to want to be with it. Because if that's there, why would you want to create anything else? It's part of the rising of standards that I've been speaking about for a few months now. And it's setting a threshold for what it is that you wish to commune with, to co-create with. And when you get into enough of an intimate relationship with the energy of beauty, when you get to know it, when you start realizing that you're becoming it because of the presence of it surrounding you, then you'll do everything to protect it, to keep it whole in its holiness. Beauty as a barometer for the world that you want to see is not just a superficial aspect of creation. It actually goes into the depths of what's an example of the articulation of light that we're amplifying to. So where can you put your attention on? Where can you find beauty in your surroundings, in your life? Beauty, for me, takes it a place even beyond gratitude, or maybe they're commingled, because when you're in that presence, gratitude automatically comes to join you. It just is. It's not even trying to be grateful. It's not some type of, oh, I'm so grateful because I'm less than, or I didn't notice before, or it's, and the thank you is you're being with gratitude instead of invoking it. And you just naturally walk around with that beauty and grace. And it's addictive in a good way, because you'll keep pointing your direction towards that. And the more you practice being with beauty, you'll begin seeing the beauty in things that perhaps didn't seem so beautiful before, that didn't feel as luminous. But you carry forward the abundance of it, that it spills over into those things that perhaps were even hideous before. Because as you become it, you raise your vibrational tone. And in that tone, you hold in steadiness the possibility for those things that have kept themselves in the dark to rise up to a different octave. And the only reason those things are dark is because they deny the divine. That's it. It's that simple. And so to remind of the divine through the beauty way is you walking here on this earth as a living, walking ambassador for everybody to raise to new levels of their own illumination. So if you were to take a scan and inventory of your life, where can you find beauty right now? Like right this second, like type it into the chat box, share with me. Where does beauty exist in your life? Where do you notice beauty? We'll look for comments to come in. In music, beautiful Jen. Jen, hi. By the way, I didn't see you come in. Amazing. April gave me a thumbs up, but that was from earlier, so that doesn't count as a comment. Hi, Mary. It's good to see you. Nobody else sees beauty? Oh my God. Y'all wake up. I parked near a tree just now to enjoy it. Thank you, Tara. Nature and animals. Amazing. So tree, nature and animals, and music. And can y'all take a second in the examples or your own example, even if you didn't type it in? Family. Thank you, Jen. And can you drop it in with family or nature and animals? Outside my front door, pine tree, mountains, beautiful. Drop in and we've written it. But can you just take a deep inhale in this moment? Thank you, Anne. Can you take a deep inhale and hold the vision of the trees, of this moment, of family, of music, and really illuminate the beauty? Like bring your light to it. Appreciate it for the beauty that it is. Like have a relationship with it. It's easy to type it and to say it, but how can we be with it? And Anne, in this moment, yes, yes, you can be with it in this moment. Again, y'all, we are being trained so quickly to go from one thing to the next that we miss the opportunity to really take in this amazing experience that we get to live. And so to take a moment in devotion to receiving beauty, to being with beauty, to acknowledging beauty, to being beauty, that just fills everything up within your being, and it brings in a sense of vitality. It brings in a sense of purpose for living. Why are we here? The beauty of holding another, of being in family, the beauty of being with nature, the beauty of being with ourselves and discovering more about us. So as part of your devotional practice, Can beauty be a sacred energy that you put on your altar? You know, so many of us have altars that we light candles for, we put incense on, or there's like a particular relic, if you will, that we give special attention and energy to for the sake of amplification in something in our environments. It could be crystals, um, whatever it is. And it's wonderful. And the intention that you bring to that altar and how you amplify, not just seeking to be amplified, but by how you amplify that item that you're hoping will amplify you. How can you create the circuits and awareness so that it's not just a stagnant energy eventually that moves, because it has to move with you eventually. We can talk about clearing crystals and clearing spaces, but again, what are we putting into it? How are we growing together? And again, this emphasis that I'm bringing forward today about beauty is you bringing a beautiful high vibrational tone into the relationship and lifting what's possible. And when you're navigating this beauty way, expect to be awed. Expect to be in wonder. Those feelings of love, of gratitude that come up, they're just so rich. Like those huge dopamine hits from like that ecstasy that you can feel when something's inspiring you in that way. You're going to learn how to create more of that in just your beingness instead of waiting for a stimulation to provoke it and getting this high hits and these low lows, high hits and low lows. You're going to be constantly circulating that energy, that consciousness. And your job, which is the best job in the world, is to look for beauty and be with beauty and acknowledge beauty wherever you are. That's it. That is it. And why don't we do that more often? Why do we get so busy, distracted? And again, I go back to the social media post. It's festering a consciousness that keeps telling us that that is what we have to go into. And it's good to be aware. It's amazing to take action where we're called to take action. It's great to stand up for the standards that we're holding for our lives and the lives of the people that we love. And you can amplify those standards by being in the resonance that I'm inviting you to. You can bring in greater solutions. You can see through the mud because you're attuned to that vibrational tone, where again, that darkness that's in denial of divinity can't see through its own shadow. And you bring in new potentials. You bring in new solutions. It's not a kumbaya, love is love and love's going to win everything. It's actually bringing you into an awareness of what's divinely in your wheelhouse to take action on or to hold for any particular circumstance that may arise in your life. Again, when you can hold the substance of beauty, and see it for the sacredness that it is, you will quickly become adept at finding solutions and bringing into alignment those places that deny the beauty within themselves and within others. You become a champion for it. You can't help it. How could anybody destroy something beautiful? It makes no sense. And your consciousness and the energetics of that trickle down. And again, you've got the best job in the world. Recognizing and having relationship with beauty. I know we can talk around in circles about it and keep saying the same thing over. But put your attention into it. Slow down. Because yes, beauty is wishing to be acknowledged. It's meant to. But don't forget the gift that it is giving you by gracing you of its presence. There's a receptivity that you're awakening within yourself as well. And you're opening up to seeing more. It's an amazing teacher for heart expansion. How much can you take in? And how much can we take in without judging it in a way that we would turn it away because we're not ready to receive? Or it triggers something within us of something that we think we might be lacking, or brings in comparison to this thing or that thing, or comparison into self, or we may fall short because we don't believe that we can be perceived as such beauty. And again, this has taken us to a place by dancing with these energies that as you fill yourself up with the relationship of that beauty, you can't help but to begin to become that which you're in relationship with. You become a product of your environment. There was a saying, my mother used to say it all the time, and it doesn't translate in English in the way that I hoped, but it's the essence of it is tell me who you're surrounding yourself with, and I'll tell you who you are. So choose wisely. We've been talking about standards. We've been talking about uplifting energies, talking about high frequencies. We're talking about beauty as a vibrational tone for you to embody more of and be in relationship with. All this is to bring you into a higher octave that's available for you now. None of it's elusive. Where are we putting our focus? What are you truly devoted to? I can say committed to, but no, I'm taking it to a higher place. What are you truly devoted to in the highest sense of the word? I even want to look it up. Give me a second. because this is important. Devotion, devotion, love, loyalty, or enthusiasm for a person, uh, worship or observance. There's another definition that I want to look up, so y'all give me a second. Oh no, there's a movie about Jesus that's called Devotion. Thank you, Google. Um, let's see here real quick. The act of dedicating something to a cause or activity. And there's one more. The act of prayer or private worship. Yes. And the fact or state of being ardently loyal. So where are you being ardently loyal to yourself? What are you committing yourself to? Where are you in your prayers? Ardently loyal, devoted to what it is that you're praying for. Because we can pray and let it go and go act like what we prayed for doesn't matter, or that we can't hold it, or think that we don't deserve it. But that's not loyalty, that's letting it go. Again, when we pray, and I've talked to you all about this before, maybe it's been a while. My parents were amazing Catholics. Go to church all the time, in devotion, they do the whole cross thing whenever it was appropriate. Um, it was wonderful. And when I saw them praying, it always like it's more like they were praying for mercy or praying that they be saved for something or that something saved them from something. And I get it. I get it. And my understanding of prayer comes from not asking God to come down to meet me where I am, but in prayer so that I may rise to meet God where she is. And in that, all things are possible. Why would I invite this that I am devoted to into the pits, into the dirtiest part of my home? Me, in my consciousness, why would I invite a guest of such high value into that place? And the prayers, how can I rise to meet you? Because from there, I know that as God is with me, nothing is against me. Or I'm expecting to be saved. I'm expecting to be taken care of in a way where I'm not willing to take care of myself. Maybe I don't know how, or I'm too afraid, or I just can't see the doorway. But just in that breath, just even go up another level and ask to be met at the next level beyond that initial stage. And then go up to the next level, and then go up to the next level. And you'll find that the things at the bottom of the rung don't inspire the fear that they used to. And we're always elevating in that as to what's possible. And what the beauty way that I'm talking to you about does, it inspires something even beyond the amazingness that we believe might be possible. It's so good right now. I can't imagine how it can even get better. And it's like it takes it to the next better. It takes it to the next level of your expansionary journey. It sheds another layer of anywhere where your heart is capable of expanding to. And then again, it's inspiring. It's vitality. It's life. It's time to get excited about life again, y'all. It's time to have it be the normal to wake up with our smile on our face. It's time to get out of bed in the mornings and just witness the majesty that surrounds us. I hope you focus on beauty. I hope you really make it a daily practice to be present with it, to really put your attention towards it, to take time to find it in places where you didn't see it before. It's one of the biggest gifts that we've been given, but we've been denying it in several ways. Again, we've gotten really busy, really distracted. We're moving really fast. They say slow down and smell the roses, but don't just smell them, take them in, like really be with them. Let their perfume totally take you over for the moment. Be still enough so that you can receive what's wanting to be gifted to you. I'll say it again. This isn't a little homework assignment. This is actually really big. It's a big attunement, a big redirection, or maybe even a big deeper dive into what you're already activating within yourself. But to hold this presence, to hold this presence. I can't wait to see how you all are lit up on these calls the next time we get together. Lori, it's good to see you. I just saw your smile. Hi. Welcome back from your amazing trips. Oh my goodness. Yes. I want to hear about it. Lori, where did you go? Can you unmute yourself?
There, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. Sorry, I'm in a I'm in a hospital ER room or ER department right now, waiting for information on our neighbor that was just brought in. So I'm just
Oh
lucky to be
no.
here. But I was in Austria. We were skiing in St. Anton, and it was an awesome time.
Oh
So
my God. Amazing. Welcome back. That was for your birthday also, right?
the, it was, yeah. We
Happy
celebrated my
birthday.
birthday there too.
Happy
Very
birthday.
fun. Thank
Nice.
you. Thank
How much
you.
how
But
much
what you're
beauty?
saying is so resonant. Oh my
Hmm.
gosh, so much beauty. Yes, it was gorgeous there. But what you're saying is absolutely resonating because I've been feeling, um, I haven't been appreciating like you have just been talking about, and it's brought that back to me that I need that, and we all need that right now. The
Oh,
world is
yeah.
such a mess. We need to bring it in and tune everything else out and stand there. So thank you.
You're welcome. And the world is a mess, but the world is beautiful also, right?
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Let's
Yes.
let's get into those conversations whenever we're bringing something down energetically. And we do say that the world's a mess, it's in disarray, it's in chaos, it's these things are happening, and that engenders that. don't get caught in the trap of the lowered vibrational energies taking you into their realm. Don't do it. We can acknowledge it, we can be aware of it, but let's not make it part of our daily conversation or how we start off with other people. Oh my God, can you believe the chaos that the world is in? It's like we're engendering that. It's like it's the world's freaking beautiful. It's amazing. And can we be aware that shit's going on that is not part of that beauty way? Yes, absolutely. And what can I do about that? I'll be guided to, I'll be called. It's if community calls for it, amazing. But what I can do is I can hold my truth, my experience. You just got back from Austria. You just got back from a huge birthday trip. Your world is not a mess, right?
So true. So
Your
true.
world is not a mess. You're witnessing the world that's experienced things that need to come back into greater alignment, that other people can dance in their own light and their divinity and see what's possible and get to experience the expression of beauty that you just had. And even you being in the ER right now, it's such a thing of beauty. The love and care for your neighbor, just being there, waiting. That's beautiful. Yo, that's, I mean, that really like tune into that for someone to show up and care in that way. It's like, my God, it's just, doesn't it amplify y'all? Just in that awareness. And this is you being beauty. It's extraordinary. It's making me well up.
Mm,
Mm,
Thank you. I didn't think of it like that.
yeah, that's why we do these calls together, so we can think of them in a way that expands our definitions and that brings also forward the truth of the light that's emanating from each and every one of us, everybody. And we can just slow down again and just notice it and even speak to it or act upon it. It ripples, it grows, it plants seeds for even more. Yeah. So thank you. Thank you, Lori.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mhm. So all again, it's I'll repeat myself just because I feel that I don't want to lose it in the energetic thread because we're moving in conversation. But again, when we speak of how difficult things are, or how annoying they are, or how upended things have been, and we continue that conversation, we keep continue adding energy to it, even if it's light. You know, it's like I remember my grandfather, we living in Colombia, he'd go hang out with his friends every morning at the coffee shop at the corner or around the corner every morning. 92 years old, going around the corner to go meet his friends. Um, and I just imagine what they're talking about, different things. But I know without a fact is, oh my God, can you believe how bad this is? Or can you believe this other thing? That was inevitably, I'm sure that was part of the conversation, even though I'm sure they talked about great things also. But those little circles of gossip or things are relating. Let's relate because we both can agree that the world's in chaos. It's like that common ground. Where can we find common ground beyond that? It's easy to find common ground in the lower denominating areas, but where can we find common ground in the higher vibrational aspects of our lives? When can we make the conversation, oh my God, my life's fucking amazing, the standard rather than, oh my God, I can't be so good because if I'm so good, I might upset them or they might think that they're less than or I'm I'm bragging or they think I'm the whatever it is that suggests to us that we have to kind of tone ourselves down for the conversation to be okay. for the exchange to be even or equal or met, to be resonant. And I'm sure all of y'all have experienced at some point where you were in a group and you couldn't really speak of your high points, your achievements. It's like it couldn't be held, so you just kept it to yourself and let everybody else have their place because they were at a different space from that. And there's attunement in some of that, but it can't be at the expense of you containing yourself on a continuous basis for the sake of another. You're here during this time not to diminish your light, but to amplify it. If any of y'all say, I'm waiting for my mission or my purpose or what I'm here to do so I can serve the collective, start with amplifying your light. And that is a journey and initiation all in it by itself. And through that, you will find other avenues to put that light and energy into. It comes automatically. It's a natural occurrence. So again, homework. Find beauty. Be with beauty. Be still with beauty. And perhaps, like Lori demonstrated, we can see the beauty within ourselves, in our actions, in our presence. And maybe even give a minute of reverence to that beauty. Like really acknowledge that within yourself. Like it's like, wow, that was in me. That was in me. That came from me. Beautiful. Ego expansion, fear, social media. Nice, Jen. Nice. Anybody have any comments or any direction they want to go in today or any questions? Let me scroll through, see if I see any hands raised. No,
I don't have my hand raised, but because I can never find it. Just I wrote in because I love the thing that you wrote about beauty is a heart expansion. So for me, I think I'm not doing this right. There we go. Sorry, guys. I I can go to that very easily and say, how can I expand my heart? Snap, beauty. But when I'm in my head or when I'm thinking, about situations that are low vibration, it's like, okay, that's ego. Not necessarily all ego, but it helped me to think that because whenever I'm scanning myself and I'm feeling something emotionally that seems, judgmental or, not good, it's still as important as your heart expansion, because I think that once you're able to recognize when your ego is taking over instead of your heart, that's what's helpful. And I just wanted to say that and get it out. So it's my headline for today's talk. Because John, you give us so much that I mean, I couldn't even write down what homework is, much less, do something every day for 5 to 10 minutes. I don't know why, but I really want to try. So
Right.
thank you for letting me just
You're
chat.
welcome. I actually really appreciate what you brought in also because one thing that I didn't talk about, and you brought it up in this conversation, is beauty satiates the mind and the heart. It gives the mind something to do and focus on as well. And then they start working together. in different
Yeah.
ways. Ego's like beauty. It's like ego's freaking amazing. Where are we directing ego towards? And so like ego's like, I like beauty. Beauty is cool. I want more beauty. Let me go
Okay.
more towards beauty because that's lighting me up. I'm feeling something. This is serving me. Hold on a second. And there's a difference between being in the flow of beauty and being intoxicated by beauty that you lose yourself. And in this
Hmm.
world, there's been an intoxication of physical beauty and a push towards there, or beauty in an art that gets created, but it becomes so hyper focused on that one piece that we start creating that's got to be the standard for the art and everything else isn't beautiful because it's not that. Right. And so that's where the ego can get derailed into thinking, I found that that's where I need to keep finding it. And that's the only place it can exist. And then our job is to just keep demonstrating to the ego and to the mind how many other places beauty can exist. It's a creative journey, a treasure hunt, truly. And it exists around us. And it's up to, you know, beauty is up to the individual to interpret. How wonderful is that? Because how many versions of beauty exist if there's, how many people existing in this world? And then you multiply those people by the amounts of beauty experience that they get to experience. We are flooded with it. It wants to serve us. It wants to lift us up. It wants to gift to us. How amazing is that? Yeah. Thank you for sharing. Mm. Anybody else? Any comments or questions? Suzette, yes. Come on. If you can unmute, please.
I thought I was being so smart, Jen. I thought I found the hand thing, and all I did was put my finger over the mouse, and that hand came up. But I can't find a button at the bottom either, so you're not alone.
We'll
I
have to
just
get you
wanted
guys
to
some instructions eventually. Yeah.
I just wanted to share something very quick that was very interesting. I came on late, and I just picked up on what we've been talking about. But what was so interesting was the tail end of last week. So I love to show up and feel like I'm tapped into the same energy as what's being talked about. And that's what happened. So at the tail end of last week, because I've really been, you know, this amplifying you type thing you're talking about, that's happening now, like way overdue. Like, how we always feel we're overdue for this, which we are, but still doesn't matter, all in due time. But the interesting part about the energy is I've really, like everyone else here, very affected by energy. And so I've been feeling this block last week, like I'm just blocked energy wise. My energy's blocked. And I called upon my sister and I said, listen, I need you to come and help me. I'm trying to put everything to paper here and I keep hitting these roadblocks, but it's my environment. My environment's blocked. The energy flow in my house is blocked. The energy flow in my rooms is blocked. And I've spent a lot of my career in home decorating and stuff. So I know this stuff. So I said to her, I just realized every single abundance corner in my house is a disaster. And I even went room by room, and every abundance corner in every room and every part of my yard and every part is blocked totally. So we need to start. So she came on Saturday and we just picked one room. And then we were laughing our butts off because she's like, oh my God, at the end, she says, I never tell you at the beginning. I don't really believe that we're going to accomplish something. She's like, but I can't believe it. So what we did was we had a room with too much stuff in it and we played a Tetris game. And I wish we had that camera on that takes the time motion thing, because in hindsight, we're like, oh, the time motion camera would have been so fun. But after we changed it all, the energy changed already. Like immediately, the energy in that room in particular was totally changed. I could feel the flow. So I'm on a mission all month, and like right now, every single day, just altering the energy in my house and my environment. And it was also easier to pick the beautiful things from the not so beautiful. And maybe it used to be beautiful, but it doesn't fit now. And everything just felt like it was coming together. So it just felt like the topic we were talking about, and it just was so amazing. But for anybody that doesn't know where the abundance corner is in their house, when you enter the front door, the back left corner of your house and your yard and everything, that's your abundance corner. So when you walk into a room, just think what's in those corners. And if it's cluttered or it's a disaster or your garbage can's there, out it goes.
That's wonderful.
So
Thank you for
what I
sharing
just wanted
that.
to share. Thanks.
I also want to add to what you shared about the shift that you felt as well, because what you were bringing in also in the laughter and in the playing games and all that. Again, when I spoke earlier on the call, we have these sacraments, we have altars, we have perhaps things, even if we set up flowers, we bring in flowers to our house, they add a vibrational tone, they uplift the energy, right? Um, but you've added to that altar. You added through the laughter, through the presence, through the play, through the curiosity. It's like you brought more beauty into the room, into that prosperity corner with the joy that you were bringing in, with the intention. It's like, hey, we're changing it up. But it wasn't we're changing it up because you're broke. Well, yeah, we're changing it up because you need to be changed up, but it wasn't a changing it up because you didn't go in with an attitude of having to destroy something to rebuild it back up,
Right? Yeah.
right?
And I just wanted to say that my mother is the laughter, and I'm a family of 3 girls. And my mom and all 3 of us, we used to always laugh in the same unison. So you just reminded me when you said that, and I felt a little emotional, like my mom was here yesterday with us when we were laughing, right? And the last time I had one of my readings from whoever, and I said, I have a hard time. I don't even want to say whoever. Courtney Levins gave me my angel reading when I said to her, I can tell when my dad's here. I can tell when my ex-husband's here. I can tell when so-and-so's here, but I'm not always sure when it's my mom. And she brought 2 examples up, and it was funny enough connected to the sister that was here yesterday at that reading too. But it was around decorating. My mom always talked about living in beauty. Lots of books I have from my mom are all about that, right? We always had like a beautiful house, and she had special sacred places for everything. It was like that kind of niceness that, like, you know, I'm not saying my life was perfect. I'm just saying that thing. So it was funny because she might have been here yesterday, and that was part of the
That's the thing I
laughter.
talked about earlier. Hold on, Suzette. You're like, I'm not saying my life is perfect. Why? Why do we do that?
Isn't that, I know, but I wasn't trying to see, you just talked about that, how we don't want to,
Exactly. Exactly.
because it makes us feel like we're saying we're better than others, when I never, ever, ever feel that. Yet when
No.
we
Yeah.
talk, we feel like talking that way makes us project, I'm greater than you because of this. You know what I mean? And it's not what we're doing, but people receive it that way. So it's that consciousness of how we speak, what we're saying, and being comfortable to speak in such a way. Oh, see, I'm going to go off
No, that's
topic there
fine.
I was going to say by how someone else might react better to me, but that's not the point of it all. That's what we're trying to move away from.
Yeah,
Right.
but what I want to bring into consciousness also is it's not just the fear of that we're going to be better than or come across that way. But there's also a fear of rejection, that we're no longer going to fit in, that we're not going to be accepted if we do that. So there's an acquiescence that's taken place in this negotiation, is where do we think that we fit in the pecking order and still be able to belong? Either because I'm too much and I project that I'm too much, or that I'm projecting that I'm not enough and it's bringing everything else down. And how can I maintain that standard kind of in the middle, in this in this container that I'm choosing to seek safety and companionship and belonging with? And how can I maintain that status quo? And I'm telling y'all, it's screw the status quo. It doesn't work. It's time to raise standards and create new ones. People will go, but people will come. Some people will go, some people will rise with you, and amazing. You'll rise up to perhaps where someone else is holding the standard that you wish to be in their lives. I don't know. But the holding back, the acquiescing, the negotiation that we do so quickly, we're so taught it. It's like, let's change that. Let's become more aware of that. And again, the non-negotiation also gets to a point where as we're holding that steady consciousness, some of the things that are going on in the world become non-negotiables for us. We're like, no, that can't happen in my vicinity. That can't happen in the places where I am. You can't help but to become an ambassador for that standard. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Suzette, thank you so much for sharing. Love the beauty that you were sharing. Yes.
Sorry,
Okay.
John, I have a follow-up question to that. So back to the ego thing. So I guess I want a way to turn around thinking of the ego as a negative thing. So what would you recommend?
Start having a relationship with it instead of pushing it away.
Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, it's like, and
Yeah.
another tool for the ego also is that we've also given the ego a lot of authority, which is amazing. And yes, the ego is your hyper vigilant best friend. I'm going to watch for this, and this other thing, and I'm going to protect you. I'm going to keep you in your comfort. I'm not going to allow you to break out of your box because this is where we feel good. Even though you don't feel good, this is as good as it can get. So we're going to keep you there at least. It's trying to protect you. It's trying to serve you in a way. Why don't you walk 10 feet in front of your ego and your ego can walk behind you? And then as things come up along the way that don't seem right, hey, ego, I got something for you. Let me know how you're interpreting this. And let it be your ally in that way. But keep telling the ego, it's like, I'm leading now. You're 10 steps behind me. And I know you've got my back. But I'm choosing to look at this from a new place because we both deserve new experiences. I want you to have new experiences. I know you're going to help to keep me safe in the way that you do, but you're going to learn and grow from it as well. And we're going to come up with a new set of reference points for what we say yes and no to in our lives. Yeah, thank you for asking that.
Thank you.
Tara, you have your hand up. Tara, are you there? Oh, she must have fallen off the call. Okay. Okay, I have to be transparent with y'all today.
I have something.
Oh, someone else has something? Oh, hi, Anita.
Hi. God, it's like I was almost heating up because I was feeling like when you're talking about the ego, that if we just stop judging others, judging ourselves, and just being there in the situation and catching ourselves if we're judging, then it's almost like you're a newborn baby again. You just watch, you're just being in the moment. And maybe the ego, I don't know, it just like was an insight. Maybe the ego is just judgment. You know, I'm judging you, or I'm judging something that's happening. And if I just catch myself, no, don't judge it. You know, it's just existing there, and stop judging ourselves when, you know, that little whatever we call ego is saying like you're not good enough, or, you know, don't do that because that's going to put you in trouble, or whatever it is. It's like just no more judgment, just be curious. Just like
Mm.
being curious rather than being in judgment.
And actually,
Like, yeah, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say I want to give like different categorizations of ego. How about like we have higher self and lower self? How about we have little ego and big ego, small ego and big ego? Because the big
Mm.
ego is capable. I mean, the big ego, it's our identification. It's how we relate to ourselves. It's how I know that I am an I and not nothing. The big ego is also what allows us to have the individuated expression of the different experiences that we have in our life. The big ego is the one that can judge and interpret beauty as it sees and interprets beauty, and can give you a reference point for that, that you form other judgments with that create a standard for what beauty is for you, which is amazing. The little ego is the one that says, I'm not leaving here. It's too scary in that world. And I'm going to do everything to make sure that I don't have to move an inch from this place of safety. And that's the little ego component. So the place of not judgment that you're talking about, we want to invite the big ego with its judgment interpretation of what it's receiving, and also to its capacity of discernment. Where am I judging where I'm diminishing a possibility? Where am I judging where I'm condemning somebody else so that I feel better about myself? And allow the big ego to learn and grow from those experiences, right? And then how do we nurture the little ego that it feels safe enough to begin following the bigger ego, to not get so caught in the traps and the safety? And there's a balancing that's happening because they're both of the light. They wouldn't be part of your existence in this world if they didn't come from the light. So where can we put beauty back into the little ego? Where can we give it new reference points little by little? Where can we invite it to up level without dragging it with us? Because dragging it with us doesn't work. It just creates more resistance. It doesn't do anything to change our neurochemistry in our brains either. There's just more resistance. It gets further entrenched. It's like the Chinese little trap, whatever you call it, locks. You put your fingers in it, the more you pull, the tighter it gets. When I speak of this, Anita, what comes to you?
Well, I know, now I'm thinking of already discernment. It's not like we don't notice things and see what's going on. And you're kind of saying, yeah, we need the ego to do that. We need to see what's going on, and we need to have our standards. And, when something doesn't feel good, it's like, hey, what's happening here? And it might be, it's like I see what's going on. I don't need to judge it so much, but I take it into consideration for, what my standard is, and I can still have, boundaries and all of that. But it's kind of nice not to judge, but to be curious. Like, where's that coming from in that person? I'm still noticing that, that might not be the right thing. I don't want that in my reality. But, if I judge it, I might just totally exclude that that's going. It's like I see what's going on and I can make my choices, but I don't need to switch to like dismissing that person totally. It's like, because they're coming from somewhere with that, and we're all learning and growing. So if
Right.
we can learn not to judge, not there's so much judgment in the world, especially now, especially in America. I'm from Sweden originally, but so I have, different looks at things, but I've been, in North America for the last 43 years. So yeah, but for me, there is some kind of shift about not judging. And it has to do with also, I work with kids a lot, and
Oh,
people up to about 20, 23 years old, and from little ones, 9-year-olds. I've been a coach and stuff. So, but it's like I can be present and I cannot judge. And even the ones that are older, but the little ones, it's easy because, they're learning so much. But as we're older, we're not perfect. We're doing things. And we're judging. Like, why didn't we judge the little one? But we're judging, like, and things are going on in the world that are not so nice. So definitely discernment, but a bigger picture somehow, like, maybe the judgment for me means, what I'm saying is like being present with things and seeing what's going on. Yes, having my standards of, what I want to let into my world, but also like being open to like, wow, why did that happen? Or how is this going on? And then the bigger and the bigger the picture is, you stop judging less and less and less. The bigger
right.
your picture gets of all these little dots and why it might be happening. And when I hear more of the truth, oh, okay, then that was not so crazy, because now I know more of the truth. So we keep like expanding and expanding and expanding. And yeah. So for me, some kind of insight came that it's for me, it's about not judging it or jumping to conclusions, and not
Mm,
blaming, like, and also like judging ourselves, and this balance that we're trying to be, not be too much or not be too little, and all of this. It's like, well, if we don't do that anymore, we
mm.
just don't judge that. We just don't judge anymore. It's like, it's okay, be who you are. Uh, and we're gonna get caught in it again, and it's from another judgment maybe, and it's like, I'm judging again. Okay. So for me, it's something like that. Yeah.
I like how you're talking about it and your conversation and the different, because for me that's like swirling in your being. It's like there's something that's churning and alchemizing in you around that awareness and contemplation that's coming through. So it's beautiful to witness you in that as you spoke about it. It's I'm like riding the waves with you, which is wonderful. And with judgment also, it's in our communities, we can get very kumbaya, very loving. It's like, okay, everybody's love and everybody's peace. And I get it. I forgive you even before you did it. And wonderful, yes. But in the judgment part, there has to be a place where we don't condemn ourselves for judging sometimes. And we really give credit to where we're discerning. And just a very kind of raw example. If someone's consistently an asshole, they're an asshole, they're an asshole, they're an asshole. Are you judging them that they're being an asshole, or is that just discernment, your awareness that they're just an asshole? It's discernment. So again, let's not get in a place where because we have that awareness that we diminish our energy, we leak energy because we're trying to make it right within ourselves because we judged it as being wrong. It just is what it is. Okay. Now, how do I judge it in relation to my experience with it? Well, that's where you get to choose, or we get to choose. Are we going to continue having relationship with that energy, or are we going to look for something different and choose to be somewhere different? And if we find ourselves judging from a place because that person keeps being an asshole and we're judging it and we have a high charge on it, then we really need to look at ourselves. It's like, oh, why do I keep doing that over and over again? And why am I not choosing something different or calling something forward in that relationship that raises the standard of my current experience? Right? So it's wonderful. So again, it's judgment serves in so many different ways as a refinement of our own consciousness as well. And again, what you're swirling with it right now, Anita, it's beautiful. Just it's yeah, keep being with it. But it really feels like it's landing and it's seeding new possibilities. Thank you
Yeah,
for sharing.
thank
Yeah.
you. Before I even turned on today, I didn't know what it was going to be about, and I woke up and I was standing there thinking like, I'm beautiful, trying to get used to that feeling that I can accept that that's true. And then I was going in the kitchen, I was mixing a little aloe vera grape juice thing that I was gonna drink in the morning, and I'm standing there holding it, and I woke up to the window, and there's a rainbow.
Oh,
It
beauty.
was just like, yay! It's like
Thank
outside
you
is
for calling it in. Yes.
outside is confirming me.
Confirming this and preceding the consciousness of this, because that was part of my confession earlier, y'all. I decided to do a 3-day water fast, just to cleanse. It's really good for the receptors, for the mitochondria. It helps to flush out dopamine. It's really wonderful. And this is day 3 of my 3-day cleanse, and my mind was like not where it's supposed to be, kind of loopy in different places just from not eating food for 3 days or 2 days so far. I didn't know what I was going to talk about today. I didn't know, but then I showed up and it was inspired and it just came through. So, Anita, neither you or I knew what this call was going to be about today. But again, it's the energy, it's the collective here that really brings forward the possibility of different conversations, right? And illumination. And I tune into you just as much as y'all tune into me, and we co-create this together. So how beautiful is that? Um,
I'm
all right.
noticing a lot of things are just looking really in tune, actually, in this
Nice.
world.
Yeah. Keep tuning into that. Keep tuning into that. Keep amplifying that.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. It's great to have you here. All right, y'all. It's been wonderful being with y'all again. Thank you so much. Just I cried twice today. Y'all stop it. It's wonderful. I really appreciate it. Um, again, Donna, please close it out.
Love and blessings.
Love and blessings, everybody. I look forward to seeing y'all in the next call. Bye.
Bye bye.